from our recess meeting last week. So a motion to receive and file the agenda is presented.
So moved. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Run into our old business. Let's see, item A.
Second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a contract between the City of Ashland and Service Pump and Supply in the amount of $78,848.57 for the removal and replacement of blower units at the 10th Street and 26th Street pump stations for the Department of Utilities, Division of Wastewater Collection."
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Item B.
Second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and approving change order number 2, final adjusting between the City of Ashland, Kentucky and Southern Ohio Trenching and Excavating Incorporated, decreasing the amount of the contract for the Spring Park Sanitary Sewer Project in the amount of $60,920 and increasing the length of the contract 46 days for the Departments of Utility Operations and Engineering."
Motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, hey, Barry, did they have to go through people's yards and everything like they thought they were, or did you get that worked out on relining it, or how'd that end up?
No, so the relining hasn't actually occurred yet. We did that off of the PO, and we're shipping 3 quotes at about 40,000. But no, they won't have to cut through people's yards.
Okay,
Make the process much easier and much cheaper.
thanks.
All right, any other?
That's a pretty substantial change order.
Yeah,
I agree.
but the key word's decreasing. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Item C.
Second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and approving change order number 2, final adjusting between the City of Ashland, Kentucky and Gullet Sanitation Services Incorporated for the Ashland Water Treatment Plant removal and dewatering of reservoir solids project, decreasing the contract in the amount of $142,960.12 and increasing the length of the contract 56 days for the Departments of Utility Operations and Engineering."
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit at the last meeting, but is Mark here?
Yes, sir.
Could you walk us through this? It's, you know, at one point, $225,000 was budgeted. We did a contract for substantially less than that. And then we did a change order that took us back to the original budgeted amount, which bothers me a little bit.
The plan behind that was to try to maximize the amount of solids we could get out of there at the time, which is why we increased the contract originally. And then when the project actually happened, the weather caught us, we just couldn't get the amount of
Do
solids.
we have any other bidder?
Yes, there was one over there.
Well, I mean, you know, when you put in a low bid, and then your intention is to get back to the authorized amount with a change order, it kind of defeats the purpose of the deal.
They were the lowest bid, and then also their unit price was the lowest. So, it was definitely, to do this, it was definitely cheaper using this contract than it would have been the other one too.
Mark, did they request the increase, or was that an increase that administrative staff recommended?
We requested that.
Well, and then apparently they weren't able to do the work, and we did another change order to
Yes.
reducing it by $82,000.
Yes, and through the process of that, of doing this work, between the water plant and sewer collection, and Barry and I were involved, we think we could do some
I heard you say
internal
that
plumbing
last
to
day.
be able to handle this in the future with totally on the city, the city handling it, no contractor.
Will that involve dissolving the solids that are there in some fashion, or how?
No,
do you get rid of
it'll
it?
actually, what we'll do is actually wash them into the sewer system, and then they'll ultimately end up at the sewer plant and be treated.
And we'll be able to do that, get them off the bottom of the reservoir?
We'll have to wash them down. To some extent, they'll run out fairly easily, but we get in there and physically help move them down. The problem with the past, when we did it before, was when we brought all that equipment in there, we broke up the concrete, and it just got extremely expensive trying to haul that out of there. This would be, there would still be some washing down of solids, but nowhere near the amount of equipment, like heavy equipment that we didn't need to be involved, and it should be considerably cheaper than.
Well, we gotta do this like every 10 years,
Well, that's what my
right?
question was gonna be. When would the next,
Well, we haven't finished the job that we've started, so
There's
when's the plan to complete the work?
There's still about, there's a lot of headspace in there with the water. We're in no rush to get it out of there. This was kind of a surgical, we have some data that said how much solids were in there. We were doing what's called a hydrographic survey. They basically go in there with sonar and listen and determine how much solids in there. But there was some debate internally as to how accurate that was. So we wanted to actually do this and at least take a portion out as much as we could, and then determine when we need to do this again. Honestly, it's not critical that we remove solids out of there.
There are plans now to remove the balance of the solids?
We haven't talked about it, but we could do it. It wouldn't concern me if they said we couldn't do it for 5 years.
But are these solids in one location in the reservoir, or are they spread uniformly in the
They're not
reservoir?
necessarily spread uniformly, but they're spread throughout the reservoir. And we had the reservoir down to where there's only a few feet in it, and there's spots where there's solids and spots where there's not, so.
And the Division of Water did tell Bill that we needed to fill back up the reservoir and start, is the reason we did not finish the extra amount we wanted to do. The original bid came in under budget. And what-
I remember the old.
Yeah, when it came in under budget, we did not expect to do the amount of solids we changed it to when we bid it. But when it came under budget, and it was a unit price per solid, Mark thought he could do more, but then we had weather and issues, and we had a deadline with the Division of Water to start filling it back up again, and that's the reason it didn't get finished.
What was the nature of the deadline?
Well, it was actually what it was, it just had to do with treatability issues, with solids coming down the river, starting to get higher and higher and higher. It caused the water plant treatment issues. They need that. And because of that active flow system, they need that reservoir to be able to function efficiently. When it's less, muddy water coming down the river and things like that, there's less concern. But they need that as a buffer to be able to treat water as efficiently as possible.
Mark, you said that in the future, we could just send it to the sewer plant?
Yes, we'd have to make some piping changes, yes.
Well, then would it turn into solids? We take the Rumpke, or how does that
Yes.
work? Okay.
Yes, that's what would happen.
It'd be filtered out and all that.
So we would start on this project, within this 5 years, so.
Yeah, we're gonna look at doing that as soon as possible. We're not gonna wait on that. We're gonna look at doing it as soon as possible.
Gotcha. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Item D.
Second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a contract with Brentag Mid-South Incorporated for the purchase of liquid caustic soda at a price of 1.149 cents per gallon and sodium hypochlorite at a price of $1.77 per gallon for the Department of Utilities, Division of Water Production and Wastewater Treatment."
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Item E.
Second reading and final adoption of ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a contract with Chemrite Incorporated for the purchase of potassium permanganate at the price of $2.11 per pound for the Department of Utilities, Divisions of Water and Production and Wastewater Treatment."
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Item F.
Second reading and final adoption of an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a contract with Sitco Water for the purchase of powdered activated carbon at a price of $1.25 per pound, aluminum sulfate at a price of $1.51 per gallon, and sand at a price of .103 per pound for the Department of Utilities, Divisions of Water Production and Wastewater Treatment."
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Item G.
Second reading and final adoption of ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a contract with Evonik Corporation for the purchase of peracetic acid at the price of .752 per pound for the Department of Utility Operations, Divisions of Water Production and Wastewater Treatment."
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item H.
Second reading and final adoption of ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a contract with Polydyne Incorporated for the purchase of liquid polymer for the water treatment plant at a price of $17 and .114 per gallon, and for the wastewater treatment plant at a price of $15, .308 per gallon, and polymer cationic at a price of $2.48 per pound for the Department of Utility Operations, Divisions of Water Production and Wastewater Treatment.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Item I.
Second reading and final adoption of ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance of the City of Ashland, Kentucky authorizing and directing the mayor to execute a contract with Usalco LLC for the purchase of polyaluminum chloride at a price of $3.466 per gallon for the Department of Utilities, Divisions of Water Production and Wastewater Treatment."
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we move into our discussion items, and as I said earlier with you, with everyone, that we can jump around on this and whatever we feel talking about some of these projects, but I think first of all, Mr. Grubb, let's talk about the budget, the fiscal year 2026 and 27. Item BB. Do we want to set a date for that, or what was your intention on discussion today?
My notes here that I have, we internally do have the budget completed. It needs final review by myself and Michelle. We still need the Paramount data on some capital, but we should be able to present to the commission at your all's convenience. Some dates that I've written down would be the 15th or the 16th of 1.
15th and 16th of
That's just, yeah, I mean, we are
which
flexible.
month? Which
April,
month?
April,
Okay.
in the next couple of weeks.
We just have we just got any data from the Paramount, actually, Wednesday. So I have a lot of questions on their expenses on there too. So I'm
Okay.
gonna have to have some kind of conversation with them.
But
With the Paramount or with the AP3 or?
AP3 or Venue Works or whoever's making the expenditures down there.
All right. All right, well, we can make that happen.
Yeah, the FY '27 budget is 99.9% complete, and we'll be ready to
That's
present.
good news.
Early this
Jump
year.
right on that.
It is early.
So if everybody can check their calendars when they get back and respond back to whether 15th or 16th will be the best for you all.
I
Well, if you
think
want to
we
go,
probably want both days, don't we? Isn't that what you set aside to do both days?
Commissioner Martin, I think probably the previous years, we've got it done in one day. Probably allows maybe about 3 hours. We could probably get it done. Or unless you all want to break it up, we can come back a second time.
16th is not good for me.
15th is good for me.
I'm
15th
tied
is
up on
fine.
the 15th.
Well, it's according to what time you want to do it on the 16th. That afternoon, I'm fine. That doctor's appointments in the morning.
In the afternoon?
Afternoon's great.
Afternoon 16th?
It's fine with me.
I'm sorry, sir.
Afternoon on the
Afternoon.
16th?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How's that with you, DJ?
That's my birthday, but we
What
can,
better
We'll
way to
have
spend
cake,
it?
okay?
we can celebrate it at the.
After a while, it doesn't make any difference, you know?
You'll have one next year. Priorities. Big
You get
deal.
one every year. What's the
Every
big
year,
deal?
yeah.
Celebrate tax day and then your birthday.
Exactly.
1 o'clock? 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock it is, on the 16th.
You good with that?
I'm good with that.
We think we can finish it one day, or do we need to?
That's good with me.
Well, let's see how far we get on it,
Okay.
and if not, we can keep on going and recess and go to the next day if need be, or whenever.
That's Thursday.
Yeah, okay. All right. Putting it in now, so you got it. All right, let's get into some of the other discussions. Anybody have a preference? I know we have Ms. Coombs here with the Visit Ashland. Maybe we start with item K, the First Friday funding and charges, or is that more of a
Would that be a budget work session?
budget-orientated conversation?
My notes from the previous work session we had, that we would defer that to the budget work session, but, I mean, we can certainly talk about it now if you'd like.
Go ahead.
Well, we can preliminary talk about it.
Yeah, sure.
Do they have a request, or?
Well, I guess.
They have a request and.
Go ahead. I guess it's the way who we're going to fund, who gets the money.
Or Ashland Motion has.
Typically, in the past, we have funded Ashland in motion. And then-
What's our precedent on First Fridays? How much have we been spending?
Well, we don't get an accounting from Ashland Motion. I have no idea what they've spent on what.
So we budget a certain amount for them and they pay for First Friday out
Yes.
of that? Okay.
They actually pay her
There you go.
for First Friday, from what I understand. So they take our money and they give it to Ashland KY.
Okay.
How
Ms.
much?
Coombs, do you have an accounting of what the money is spent on, and?
Yeah, every month I have to do a breakdown of what events are, what they cost, and turn it in, and anything that you need, I can send you that way.
Can you give us some of the past, one from maybe last year?
Yeah, I think, Michelle, did I send you the last year letter,
Yes, I just didn't.
or? Okay, so I can send you a breakdown of like.
Celeste, why don't you come up?
Yeah. But yeah, I can send you, surprisingly here. I can send you anything that you need. Do you guys want like a monthly breakdown on how stuff was spent last year?
I believe you provided us a proposal at the previous work session, and it had a breakdown of
What it
where the
costs.
expected expenditures will be
Yes.
and what they were. I believe you provided that from last year too, an overview of the expenditures.
Yes. But I mean, I do a thing every month where we have our board meeting, which we just had this fall last Monday. In the meetings, I break down and have a complete report where they can see budget versus actuals. They can see what it is that's been spent, what we've got left, all that good stuff. So any of
I
that,
like
I
the
don't mind
report that
sending
you
if I
mentioned.
need it.
I think we've got that, don't we?
What do we have budgeted for this year?
Sean, you got something?
I just have, just an input, it may help, this may help with your questions too. I think, for Michelle, we wanted to determine whether we want to recapture the actual cost of events or just add it to income, because I think that was kind of the request, right? You're wondering-
Yes, so we can do a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's kind of the thing, there's some things that are a little different, but the in-kind helps a lot too. That's money, when it all comes down to it, being able
Absolutely.
to put it toward whatever. But again, like I said last time, I do work on $150,000 ARPA deficit from my predecessor. So that does make things a little difficult in how it works. So I'm trying to be very mindful. I want everything to stay the same and be even more elevated, if at all possible. But I also know that there's restraints that people have, and it's just part of business. So I understand if there's not a way to do that. So, I mean, I'll take anything I can get at this point. I'm happy with whatever.
We actually put her request in ARPA funding. I did not bring that with me because I thought we were doing the budget. I thought it was 90-some thousand from memory.
It was 150 is what the ARPA fund was, but not from last year, yeah, 97,000.
No, your request to us,
It was, 120,000, but it'd be 90-something without,
the cities.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Gotcha.
And we have that.
That's including like Infinity Con help and things like that for the different things for tourism. And again, those kinds of things I've had to kind of put on the back burner until I figure out what it looks like and what we actually have financially. It's hard to say yes. And that's been hard for me, not to tell them yes, but I have to make sure that it makes sense. And it may not make sense this year. Like, it may be something that I have to wait on, but I'm gonna do my very best to make sure we get what we can get.
Well, our downtown events, attract people all across the region.
And we don't want that to
We don't
drop
want
at all.
No.
I want to fully fund it.
We've been given AIM 35.
That's been
Okay.
the way that it's been. And they subcontract Visit Ashland, and we execute. Some of the events, of course, inflation-wise have went up a little bit, but of course with fundraising and help with sponsorships and things, that helps us too. So, I mean, again, I know that you guys have what you have and can do what you can do.
Are
I
you
think
working on sponsorships now for?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I told them the other day that all you see me is a smile and a handout, because that's pretty much what I have to be at this point, just to make sure that we keep things moving and not be stagnant, because I feel like we're there.
I think this commission supports what you're doing, and I don't want to speak for everybody, but it's a feeling, I guess. But you may want to, when we talk about our budget, to be here on the 16th, if you
I'll
can.
be here, that's actually the
Okay.
release. I will be here. Thank you, guys.
Any other questions?
No.
All right, thank you. All right, so we'll, with that discussion, we'll move on and cover that in our budget for the fiscal year. All right, any others that you would like to talk about?
Maybe an easy one would be the bus system app.
Yeah,
That's a wonderful deal to develop. I did, with what was on our website, I tried to get on the app, location and download it, and I didn't know what to put in. I put in Ashland, Kentucky bus system, and nothing came up, so.
I think
Need to
it,
know what the magic words are to put in to get the app.
yeah, I can help you
It'll-
get into that. I mean, it's,
I think it'll be
I started
QR
playing
code.
around with it,
Yeah.
and it's so much easier.
Well, I say, when going to the App Store, what do you put in?
The
Passio.go.
Passio, this right here, when it looks like that one.
Erica actually has brochures, and the brochures have
Well,
instructions
you
and a
don't get
QR
to put in
code.
an image when,
No, but when you type in the PASSIO, go,
This is not ready
but
for
you'll
that.
kind of look for that and make sure you have the right one.
It's ashlandky.passiogo.com if you're at a computer.
we might want to put that on the website.
They're gonna do a campaign.
We
We
will.
do
It's just- It's not ready for prime time just yet.
Pardon me?
I said it's not ready for prime time just yet.
Oh, okay.
It is active. We are playing around with it. Essentially what the app does, when you download it, and if you're at bus stop A and you want to go to B, it's going to tell you how long the bus
Right.
will take to get to A and then to pick you up and take you to B.
And it tells you how long the bus is. I mean, is it 2
It
minutes out,
does.
5 minutes out, 10
It
minutes
does.
out?
That's something that we've worked on for quite a few years to get
I just sent you the link to
and to
it.
be able to fund it. But we will market that heavily.
Here's
We'll
what
put it
she's
on the city
developed.
website and social media.
That we were gonna have
Eh.
downstairs on the
Well,
website.
Great, it wasn't on there, we're not trying to.
And it'll also have a
Oh,
QR
okay,
code that
got
you
it.
can scan and
Yeah,
download
this
the
is the
app.
marketing that we have.
If you look at the text.
Oh, the
I sent you,
marketing?
There's a
Yes,
direct link
I just
to
got
it.
that in my.
Oh, okay, where they scan it?
Mhm.
Okay, excellent, excellent. But it's so much easier, I mean, when I looked at it a year ago, I mean.
It's a big step
I couldn't
forward.
even figure out how to get to point A to point B on it.
Well, it's extremely impressive because you look at it and it color highlights
Color,
each
right.
route. Not only does it do that, but it actually has a little icon on there that shows the bus moving. And it
Right.
says, your estimated arrival is, in 5 minutes to
Right.
this bus stop.
Right.
And this is where this.
Well, if you hit the
this
bus stop that you're at, it'll show you that information where it's at. So,
Yes.
But anyway.
And it's also a useful tool for the bus system management team. We can call this up on your computer screen and look at the entire bus system and see where the buses are and to make sure that they're running on time and stuff, so.
So have all the bus drivers been trained?
All the bus drivers been trained, and as Tony said earlier, we are in the first day of marketing and teaching people to use it.
Okay.
Erica's putting stuff on the website and Facebook today. She's put these brochures I've showed you in the lobby. They're going to be on the buses, and they're going to be in the lobby of the transportation center. She's going to, we're going to actually put it in the water bills. She's got a press release ready to go out to the Daily Independent to show people what we have, how to use it. In addition to the ridership functions of it too, it does a lot of administrative work we're doing manually. It actually does passenger counts, which we have to do to the FTA.
Yeah.
And right now, we do them on little slips. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we can print a report. It has a electronic pre-trip. Our bus drivers check everything on the bus before they drive off in the morning, make sure the tires are good, the oil, everything. That's electronic. It goes to the supervisor.
To
If-
check out the end at the end of the day,
Yeah.
make sure there's nobody on the bus.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have the pre-trip with that. And if something is wrong on the pre-trip, it'll actually, depending on what it is, it will send the mechanic supervisor and the bus system supervisor what's wrong with the bus for it can get fixed.
Excellent.
That was all done manually. And we have a post-trip that they have to do, and the post-trip every day is sent to the supervisor. And if it fails something mechanically or you need a new windshield wiper, it goes to the mechanic supervisor at the garage. So that way nothing mechanically gets slipped through the thing with 8 pieces of paper every day.
Excellent.
So
Well,
Who
we'll
do we
look forward
need
to
to
that
give
getting out
credit
there.
to for this? I mean, this is it really
it
just.
started with Bailey Grubb. She rode the Lex-Tran at school. She met with me and Randy, and we decided to do colored routes because we were going to do the bus app, but sometimes it takes younger eyes to know how to start them. And then she found me a vendor. We met with the vendor, and the vendors met with Randy, and we got it going.
Great.
Instead of nobody really knew what the 29th Street route went. So now it's like a blue route or a green route or an orange route. And the app will also let you, if you just want to go to Catlettsburg, it'll let you just show you where the Catlettsburg bus is. Then we've taken it one step further from the meetings that we had. The same company also has a paratransit app. So now when you need to call and schedule a paratransit trip, you have to call down there and manually schedule it, and the girl schedules it in the computer. Now, if I go to my doctor and I have a rescheduled appointment for January 5th, I can go to the paratransit app that we're developing currently, and I can schedule my trip for January 5th and have it pre-scheduled.
That's great.
And it gives the paratransit customers an alert to say that the bus driver's within 5 minutes of you. So,
Very good.
Good deal.
Along that same lines, probably, we can take care of real quick. Our website, I've talked to Erica a couple of times about this. We have a lot of things that are outdated, but it's going to be some cost
I
to
have-
that? The videos are outdated.
I have tasked.
And it's hard to maneuver.
I have
I
tasked the PIO to look into updating the website. It does have some broken links. We are aware, we are tracking, update the visual appeal of it, and it'll be a central location for city events or city news. But we are cognitive, it does need some work.
Okay.
I went on before the meeting today, and the agenda was on there. I very much appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the public will too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
Yeah,
Very
I
nice.
kind of envision that being a more centralized location for city news, events and stuff like that, in addition to our social media, but primarily our city's website. But we are going to try to clean it up and check for broken links and make sure it's updated.
All right, very good. Anybody has anything they want
How
to?
about the Public Works building and the
Yep.
financing for the Public Works? G&H.
Public Works
Mr.
building.
Rupp?
Sure, we have a small team dedicated to that. I would say it's in phase one concept, but we are looking at consolidating street, central garage, and sanitation. We've got some appraisals on some property. Anything beyond that, I think I would let Mr. Corbett. Mr. Corbett's been heavily involved in it, the previous city manager.
I have some talking points.
Yes, sir.
Because we have spent a lot of time on this. We've investigated 5 sites, 4 in the city, 1 outside the city. We met with the superintendents of the involved central garage, sanitation, and streets. We visited Boyd County Central Garage and the Kentucky Road Central Garage. So we got a lot of information, and we come up with a plan. And we actually, Barry has prepared a request for quotes, and we could proceed, tomorrow if we had the property. So what I would like to suggest is that the city look at purchasing the property of the most appropriate site. And once that's appropriate, we can start building or tearing down or whatever we have to do. And we have a rough cost within the range of $3 or $4 million for the whole thing. And leave a lot of good input from the superintendents and the guys up there. And then, obviously, I think that place was built as making ammunition in World War II. And once they made 4-lane out of 23, they put the place underwater.
It's been used as a vocational school, it's been used.
Yeah, well,
Yes, we use everything.
So it definitely needs to be done. We based our quotes on what it costs to build the building for wastewater, for water distribution and wastewater collection. That big building over there, I think you were the groundbreaking, as I recall. But, so we had some background in a similar type structure. So, had any other notes? And basically, that's it. I think we're ready to proceed, and we could.
So at a later time, we just need
As we
to,
figure out where we're coming up.
where we're going to put it, right?
Sir, have you?
I guess at a later time, we can talk about property acquisition and
Yeah.
decide which route we want to go.
Well, we're doing the budget, we can talk about it then in terms of where we're coming up with the money to pay for it.
Do you have anything preliminary, Mr. Grubb, on the financing?
It would be through bonds. We could spread that out since the useful life of these buildings would be 20 years. We would probably bond the money. I mean, I don't think it'd be prudent for the current, us just use our cash to pay for it up front. But we would spread that out over time to match the life.
And we have 5 more years of the $1.3 million bond issue. So in 5 years, we'll have $1.3 million freed up.
Okay.
I would also add that we'd like to look at improvements other than that, like the city building here and stuff, the HVAC unit, the city windows. We also have a police station that's running out of space that we need, I could probably let Chief talk on that some, but that, when the police station was built, it was built for future expansion to go up one floor. And we also need some storage for fire equipment. So it would be central garage, sanitation, as well as the city building, police, and
Well, some of that
fire.
could be in this project that we're talking about. It could be incorporated into
Yes,
that.
that's
Not
what I'm
necessarily
saying.
He's
police.
That's
talking
what
about
I'm
the
saying.
financing
It's-
portion of it.
Huh?
The financing portion would cover all that.
Right,
Yes.
yeah, right.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, so.
all right.
Well, there would also be some future use of what we're abandoning
Right,
for some of those things.
right.
And
Okay.
we also have, I forgot to mention this, is a staircase outside here that's seriously in bad need of repair.
What is it?
The staircase, the fire escape staircase out back here, it's rusting, it's not gonna get any cheaper.
Well, is that heavy, with the leaks that we have above the
Yes.
doors and
Yes.
all that? Is that-
It's my understanding, yes, that some of the problem is.
Okay.
Will we still have the buses up there around Central Garage where it is
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Have it-
We will
Yes.
keep the Central Guard property not only for the buses, and eventually we will expand that because we need more room. Just as you noticed, we're storing some outside. We will also keep our gas pumps up there. And we have other room places for storage. The chief with his storage building, the $2 million worth of grants they got, we got all this equipment, and we've ran out of room to store some of the, especially the trailers, dive equipment and different stuff. They want to just build a $300,000-$400,000 building next down by their training center for some storage for it, so it'd be on land we already owned.
Well, let's segue into this other thing, this relocation of recycling center. What's your idea about that?
Before we get there, can I mention the generator for the gas pumps? I think.
Well, that's exactly where I was going to go.
Okay.
I mean, we have it on here as J.
Yes, sir, it's Jay. It's going to cost approximately $25K, and it should be completed by early June. That's
Oh, okay.
something that's
So I was
critical
gonna say,
that we
this
have.
definitely needs to get done.
Absolutely.
I mean, we need to,
Oh,
for
yeah.
our
it's-
emergency vehicles, we got to have
Yes.
fuel.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're meeting our cops at Super America with credit cards. It's so bad
Yeah,
when
I mean,
it's
that's
down.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And then.
Who actually supplies our fuel? I mean,
Bulk plants.
at the,
Is it bulk?
Is it
Let me
Woodford?
circle back and get back to it.
oh, okay,
Is it
all right.
Woodford's
all right.
diesel, bulk plants is unleaded.
Well, it may be. I
There you go,
thought-
Woodford,
Is diesel, I think.
diesel.
Okay, yeah, we'll have that conversation.
Okay.
Okay, good. All right,
What is it?
You were talking about
What's your-
Commissioner Goot.
Do you have any ideas about that?
I don't have any ideas on the location. When I was looking at this, the first thing came to my mind is, do we have enough people that's actually doing it to warrant it, to even look at moving it someplace? And it certainly
What's the
appears.
status of that?
I think the numbers, it's 9,000 people used it last year, so it's certainly getting used. If we could collectively come up with an idea of where we want to relocate it to, I think that would be good. I think when you come across the bridge, the first thing you see is a kind of a recycling
A
center.
dump.
Not the best look, but having said that, I do not have a location.
Well, we moved Central Garage, could that free up space up there?
It could, but that's not a bad idea.
That's not nearly as convenient as the current location.
Probably not, no.
it's for me.
It is for me. It is for me too. It is for me too. Well, I'm with
I
you
would
about
just,
that.
I would just suggest, you kind of brainstorm it, kick it around, and maybe we can talk about it.
We thought about
budget.
that, the way it was because not enough people signed up for curbside. It wasn't fiscally responsible because of the cost. But, so I went down to Winchester, and we constructed that down there because it looked like Winchester, Kentucky. They do the same thing. But like you say, I'm with you about the coming across the bridge.
Yeah, I'd like to see us clean up that whole area down there,
But that is a good idea if there's room up there to,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, you know, in the future, we may need that piece of land under there for additional parking.
All right, moving on, some of these,
make a note of it here.
X and Y, kind of, I've got two things here going on. With our seasonal preparations for parks and pool, is there anything we need to act on that, or?
No, sir. The staff has already been contacted. Usually we start that process in February, 1st of March, is our classes that we need to have trainings in start at that time. So we're already hired, had pre-meetings with potential employees, employee staff, expecting them to come back this year. They have confirmed, and that's across the board. So no issues to report other than Flatwoods is anticipating they're going to close down their pool.
Oh, wow.
And they'd asked me to take some of the overflow. So,
Wow, I didn't know that decision was made for them.
well, this is what I've heard, that's why I said, right now I'm getting reports that they're closed and they need our assistance. So I'll make sure it's confirmed, but we said
Yeah,
absolutely.
circle back to us on that.
Our pool's good.
Our pool's ready to rock.
Oh, yeah.
Ready to rock. And again, I want to thank you for your job down here downtown. I've got more positive comments about that turf than you can imagine.
All of us have.
What, did we manage to get some seasonal employees for the sanitation department?
Yes, we're right in the process, like, that question's right for right now. Right now, we're going through applications. Right now, we are getting applicants and getting them hired, EARs and all that, they go through HR. So they're trickling in day by day, right this second.
Thank you.
Can we utilize some of our seasonal help in the street department or sanitation whatsoever, or whatever to do some cleanup around town? I know this has been a priority of the commission as well as City Manager Grubb. I've been driving around town a lot lately, talking to some people, and I've been to several different areas all across town. And there's a lot of curbsides, such as just the roadsides, and you see areas that have a lot of trash. And you see it more in the fall, winter, and spring because the greenery's down. So I've got areas, and I can send to you, Dill Street, Geiger Lane, Gartrell Street, Boy Scout Road, and parts of Roberts Drive that you see, and you know, it would take probably an entire box of trash bags to pick up stuff. I mean, if that's something that we could do.
Sure, Commissioner, I think last year, the mayor and I talked, and city manager dedicated a staff downtown just to try to help with that. So we can definitely expand that more recently that list.
You know, it may be something we think about civic groups, you know, adopting a roadway. I know the Ashland Breakfast Kiwanis does Oakview Road, and they'll do it 2 or 3 times a year. It might be nice that we try to involve them in adopting Gartrell Hill, or
You know, we could even do a community cleanup, you know, that
Can we incorporate that in repair affair, or does that have to be?
I would like to see a community cleanup, if that's possible, to where
we used to have
You could
the
set up-
Highway 23 that the chamber negotiated everything together.
With the environmental cleaning and policing that they've been doing, Sean divided the city into 5 zones. And I think it was community cleanup. He was talking about to them last year, was picking a zone.
we are still driving that. It's my understanding that the police department is, while they're out patrolling, if they notice some stuff,
Yes.
lights out, they've been coordinating with public
Has
services.
that been working pretty good?
I think it has. We still have some work to do. I mean, it's constant, ongoing, but it's my goal to clean up the city. That's my number one goal.
If you look in your annual report, there's a lot of before and after pictures.
Yes.
That was a result
Yeah.
of that.
I mean, we've done a good job on that. We just need to put it in overdrive. and, you
I
know.
agree, 100%.
And we're supporting it.
Oh, I know you are.
What you're doing.
Yes, sir.
Along the same line with Mr. Murray, and why here is proposed Ashland Cemetery expansion. I'm going to ask about that. But I want you to think about this. It's been brought up that with our two boards of the park board and the cemetery board, that we combine those two boards. I don't want to taint you with whether I'm for it or against it, but think about that and just respond back to where you think it would be a good idea to do that.
What's your opinion of that?
If you ask for it, I think we should. I think they go together.
Well, you used to have the maintenance of the cemetery under the park.
Right, yeah. To me, that makes sense, but,
I would,
you know,
I
I
would
go
think
with
so
wish of
too.
the commission.
I'm good with it.
Okay. All right, I think, didn't you check statutes and stuff that we can do that?
Yeah, for the commission, I'll definitely check on the KRS, make sure we're consistent with any requirements that we have to do with regards to boards and applying for grants. And typically, this is up to the local, the city to appoint a board if they'd like to do so. You have to have 5 members, minimum of 5 members, a park board and or cemetery board. This allows us to actually, we only need coordinators for the cemetery, but it gives them an opportunity to meet more often if they would like to have monthly park board meetings. So it's definitely see a benefit to doing it.
Okay. So what's the proposed cemetery expansion?
Section 26 was newly developed this year, and we should actually very.
Yeah, so, Public Works reached out to me engineering, just a couple of weeks ago, saying that they basically wanted to expand on, a lot of land on the after the cemetery that has some different spots. I believe it's a lot adjacent to Park Street, I'm not sure which zone that is again up there. So basically what we've done in that handout, this is still very preliminary, we're still refining the plans, but basically trying to lay out the maximum amount of plots that we can get in that area. Early last Thursday, the engineering department went out and collected existing utilities, and that'll be a driving force for us to refine that document and to really maximize the amount of plots that we can squeeze in.
Yeah. So the top portion is what would be?
Yes, yeah, each one of those individual red rectangles would be a plot, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe in each plot there would be a potential grade in each plot, so.
So how many addition would that be?
Roughly 1,000.
Roughly,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I should mention, we have 3 tiers, pricing tiers, make it affordable for everybody, and then accessibilities that they can sort of why. We don't have as many premium spots available, they've all sold out. We do have the second, third tiers still available. And what that means is, hey, it's kind of on a hillside or a cliff or rocks, and it's harder to get to. The premium spots are flatter and more accessible for a lot of people. We did at section 25 last year. We're in January 2025. This is 26, and again, both were premium spots. That one had about 80. This one's got about 1,000. It has the potential for, again, I don't want to speak to finance, but that many spots at our current rates, you're looking at 1.9. Realized revenue that we're mapping out there is helping us with over probably about 10 years for that amount of time.
Do
Sean?
we need commission action on this, or?
Not at this point.
I don't think you do.
Sean, on this schematic, is that the large block there, is that for a proposed mausoleum?
Yes, it's near.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, that's the protocol.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, thanks for that update. All right. What else do we have on here, gentlemen?
What's this former coke plant handout we got. Is that on here?
I had an update this morning with the company that was doing the evading and doing the sealing and all that, and that is how far it has got along. And I think it's, they passed it now to the Kentucky level, and it's getting close to be done. Catherine, if you want to give an update on it, I mean, but we just had this meeting this morning, and I just copied that for you all, is what we talked about this morning.
Right, and pretty much what it has there on that agenda is what they discussed with us. Essentially, all of the remediation is complete. They've completed all remediation on the site. At this point, they are finalizing the covenant, the environmental covenant that will go on the property, and working with the Kentucky Department of Energy to get that land into their program. So they're close. They're close to being completely done and being ready for some future development on that site.
Very good.
Yeah, time to digest that.
Can we hit the Land and Water Conservation Grant for AK Sports Park? And I also want to talk about the ball fields up there.
Yeah.
Okay. I've had several citizens reach out to me that have kids that are playing ball, and they have sent me some pictures. Sean, I'll reach out to you. Some of the conditions up there of the ball field. Do we maintain those fields, or is there some type of agreement with the Little League to maintain those fields?
We have an agreement with the Little League. We maintain them, one, yes.
Okay.
Two, it depends on the type of year, right? So
Mhm.
right now, it's type of year, it's early spring,
Mhm.
so no games start until like next week, I think,
Mhm.
when Little League starts up. So right now, we just opened up the parks and restrooms, right?
Yeah.
On Monday, we started doing ball fields, so they've been up at 8K and at Oliveria. So we do that now. We don't do it while they're practicing,
Mhm.
they have their drafts and everything. Manpower-wise, it's harder for us to get out there right now, but we got to do it before opening day, so they've been out there all week. We'll be out there all next week, and get ready.
Okay.
Like when it comes to trimming grass and seeding,
Mhm.
fertilizing, that was all done, or that fertilizer was done earlier in the year. Now we're down to, we got to cut out, our parts.
Yeah.
We have signs and everything.
The concerns brought forth to me were some lighting out in the scoreboard. I guess the bulbs burn out, and there's some bases that were missing.
Is that AK or Alvario?
That was Oliverio. This is AK though. So that, my concern was Oliverio.
Same thing, Commissioner, so we put new bases out
Mhm.
before the season.
Okay.
So what happens is they get stolen, they,
Okay, yeah.
the ball is closed, right?
Blue Rock
We don't
Park
want to
got a
put out a
couple.
week ahead of time.
Yeah.
We want to put, brand new projectors. So I apologize on that.
Yeah, no problem.
We're getting it out there.
Okay. I
When is,
appreciate that.
when is opening day, by the way?
Next, is it this weekend, 13, 14, I think it was?
13, 14?
Oh, okay, yeah, I was saying not after, or Easter weekend. All right, now that we're on that, what about the lights at AK?
Discussion item, I was hoping there was a question, however, having said that, back in 2022, we put together, the commission at the time asked about lighting the AK. We put together even a bid and potential budget for it. It was roughly around $800,000 in 2022, 2023.
It was a lot cheaper when I built it.
And that's kind of why it died in 2023, because we didn't have the funding at that time.
The lighting that Callisburg did was over $500,000.
Really?
Yeah, the one, all of the electricity is there. It's underground, but that's not but the neighbors fought it like crazy, is why they didn't do it.
To your point too, back in 22, 23, I went door to door, knocked on every door, and they were overwhelmingly in support or did not
Wow.
have an issue with the lighting. That was a
Huh.
change.
Yeah, and I got voted down back then.
20 years ago, I made that same walk, and that was
Oh.
thrown at me.
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
they did me too.
Well, what about the money? What about the grant?
Well, that's something that we can apply for in 2 months, and we will apply for it, and we are going to go out and get some new quotes on the lighting to see if it's something that we can.
I'd like to do that. I really like, because I think it would explode.
Commissioner makes a good point. The thing on those grants typically is their matches, right? So let's say, I don't want to adjust for inflation, let's just take it 800,000 from 3 years ago, right? So we'd still be out roughly $400,000 if we got that grant. So I want to keep that in mind. It's not that we get the grant for whole money. Usually they're a match to it. We got a match.
The land water conservation, there's 50% match,
Okay.
up to 375,000, I
I'd still like to
believe.
do it.
Yeah.
I think that would.
It was in the
explode.
original plan, but, you know.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump that back up to A for the water line replacements and the timeline and financing for it.
Do you want to start with the financing?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. When Mr. Grubb started a water loss committee, and as you know, we've changed out several of our large meters. We're looking at now, and we're not finished with all of them. I think we just did King's Daughters. We don't have the information back from it. It's too soon. We've done Canonsburg. It's too soon. But right now, we're at $400,000 or $500,000 of additional revenue. When we take it out over a 15-year bond issue, that revenue will pay for the amount, $10 million. And we have some bonds coming due in a few years, so the debt service is staggered to pay for it.
Oh, okay.
So we can do $10 million without raising rates, taken from anything else we're spending on, with just the additional revenue that we have.
But summarize, it's about $10 million over 15 years with 500,000 annual debt service. That will
Last
allow us
time
to
we
accelerate, that'll allow us to accelerate some of the, where the Blue Water study and the records that we have internally where the reoccurring breaks are, where the most breaks are. And that also allows us to, Calixburg, is that correct?
Yeah, we're slated to the Catlettsburg project.
Yes, to be able to accelerate those.
We're actually working up there right now on Bryan Drive and Union Lane, but that's separate than the project that we've talked about a lot, where we're gonna be adding what's really beneficial to that would be adding the 7 hydrants up there. But yeah, we've replaced about 560 feet recently on those 2 lines in Catlettsburg. The total's about 4,200 that they need to course completed. And then from there, we'll just move directly over to 34th, 35th Street, Spring Haven. Can't remember the other ones. It's right there in the same area.
Okay.
And the first year, we have about $3 million worth of projects, and that's with us doing it. And that's just the cost of the pipe, the labor, and like the pavement to redo it. We have $3 million worth of projects that we can do right now that are already engineered. Then we have, and these are some of our worst lines, it's not only going to accelerate it, it is my opinion and Mark's that it'll reduce maintenance cost. Because every time that we are fixing this line, we're having to tear it up and we're having to put it back. So the quicker that we accelerate these and get these done, we're also reducing our maintenance cost and the time of our crews to do this. To do it full-time like this and accelerate it, we need 2 pieces of equipment and an additional 4 staff members. The 2 pieces of equipment is a tandem dump truck. The state contract price on it is $198,383. Whether you all choose to accelerate it or not, this is actually a piece of equipment our crews could use now, because what Davey tells me is every time they fill the dump truck up, it's 45 minutes they're standing there till they get it emptied and back. So it's something.
That's counterproductive.
Yes, we're just having a multidisciplinary people talking. You got water people, finance people, billing people, utility supervision in a room together trying to figure out the water loss. We've also learned a lot of other things, and that's one of the things I've learned is we have a crew standing 45 minutes because they have to literally don't have the equipment to fill up a bigger dump truck. So whether we do this or not, that would be a productive use, I think, of our money is to buy them a tandem dump truck.
Another thing on that, Michelle, too, we're currently looking, just to get this out there for the public, we would like to to find other places where we could dump debris and construction material on properties. We have a form in engineering that people fill out, but often we're having to travel across the county to dump at one of our basically only approved area that we can dump in. So that's what's causing an issue. Like if we could find a location near where we are up in Catlettsburg, that really increases the downtime.
Yeah, I would see us having several, of places like that. Maybe we can throw it out on social media and our website and see if I'm sure there's individuals would love to have that fill.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times they want, and I mean, I'm not just speaking from past experiences, they want the clean topsoil, but they don't want the fill.
Right.
So it takes a unique situation for someone up when they're really filling in a low area or something.
Right.
But yeah, that's another one of the concerns, and also just to get it, like I said, to get it out there, if there are people that are interested, we would.
Yeah, I'd say just, coordinate that to ask out there.
2, we also need a Caterpillar excavator. The state contract price on it is $228,909. And the adopt amended authorized position list where we can hire 3 operators, the workers in the ditch, and someone to drive the equipment operator. The estimated annual cost of that is $274,929.
So what would be the total, we're talking about expediting this, between the 2 pieces of equipment, 3 people, what would be the total cost? Well, your people would be yearly.
About 10 million.
10 million.
Yeah, it's roughly 10. And this is something that that we're going to have to do regardless at some point in time. We're just trying to accelerate that.
Could we potentially, if we went that route and we authorized those positions, could we offer that to in-house first?
Of course.
And
I would
then
hope so.
And then replace the others?
Well, if they're in a heavy department's got heavy folks, we can cut that position via attrition of the person going.
Now with the water operators, I don't know if any of them would have to be licensed.
And some, yes, we want them licensed, but,
Yeah.
often they're not going to start out there.
Yeah.
But-
You hire them off the
Yes.
street there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
To answer your question, yes, sir.
I got a question, and I
Uh-huh.
sent you this question, and you responded. I'd kind of like to talk about it a little bit more. Instead of buying the equipment,
Uh-huh.
leasing the equipment on the 4-year lease with, and I remember your answer. You said that, we need to keep it. But don't you have an opportunity to buy that after the lease runs out?
At the end of the lease?
You do, I don't know that.
Typically, that's a little bit more expensive when you do that, like that. Normally.
Well, that was my question. Would it-
It is, and that's the reason. Like in finance, if you're going to keep something long-term, you really want to finance it over time, so to speak, rather than putting all your money up front. But generally, if you do a short-term lease, you are paying more for it.
And that would include, and I believe exactly what you're saying, because
Yeah, we've looked at it multiple
Yeah.
times in different ways.
as
and we
far
always
as
try.
even servicing and everything
Yeah.
like that, it still works out that way.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and we keep these equipment till they fall apart.
Yeah.
We get our money's worth out of them.
All right.
The last time we talked about this at the work session, you all mentioned that we have been budgeting $1 million or more every year for water line replacement. But I didn't see where the money was actually spent on water line replacement. Was it in effect absorbed in the repair and maintenance of water lines?
What happens at the end of the year on the financials, and then we do this in June, and I've actually talked to my supervisor about updating it quarterly. In June, Davey sits down and he does all the work he did the year. Currently, right now, it's in labor, it's in pipe. At the end of the year.
Well, it would be nice to have an analysis about how the money was spent.
Yes, and
when you
then,
budget it and you say it's for water line replacement, that it's actually.
We do that at the end of the year.
Yes.
We
Well, I mean,
capitalize.
that's good. I just didn't see it.
Well, fair enough, and maybe that's something we could generate. a
she's doing it
report.
quarterly now.
I would say that in the last year's budget, there was no money appropriated for water line replacement.
$1 million.
$1 million.
I'm,
It's account number 4109, I do believe.
here's the page, it's got a blank on it at the top where it's highlighted. I did each year on the budget, and that one, there was nothing.
Hmm. That, is this,
That's right out of your budget.
yes, I've never dealt with this report. I know they put it on the line. I'll have to, I can get you a report of what it was spent.
Be great.
Shell, why don't you
This
text,
is,
why don't you
after
text Robert and see what his
the
budget
Blue
is.
Water study, this is our current replacement list and priority, is that right?
It looks like it from here, yes, sir.
I'm sorry?
It looks like it from here, yes, sir.
I mean,
Yes.
if I represent to you, I
Yes.
can't refuse. I didn't generate it.
On that report, have there been any changes or have we undertaken any of those repair projects?
Have any of these been replaced? is what I'm saying.
The way the list is, the way the list that I have, and we've got numerous iterations of it, we have a main list that we work off of. And we just start marking off the lines on the list when we complete them. And there's a constant juggling of priorities.
So is this a fluid list?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because Commissioner Reimer, what happens is an area that may have had 2 leaks
For
over the
last
past
year.
10 years,
Pittsburgh
all of a
26.
sudden has 15 over 5 years
Yeah.
or something. So it changes, and then there could be other factors.
Can you
that
bring me
cause
have them bring
us
me
to
up the
change.
utility
Do
asset?
you have a
List
running
change.
total of the estimated costs of
Yeah,
these things? They're
right now,
all
fast by.
itemized individually, but I didn't see a total.
I don't have I could give you a running
Yeah,
total.
why don't you?
Yeah.
The accounting staff is actually bringing me up last year's accounting book. I can tell you what we've done.
Mark, we were getting paid for 50% roughly of the water we produce before we started, doing different meters. Do we have, where is that still at about 50%? And my second question, what is our realistic goal to get it down? I mean, 0 would be great, but that's a pipe dream.
A realistic goal,
Yeah.
probably 25 to 28%. I mean, they can be lower, like rural systems, they can get it a lot lower because it's really easy. They got one water line
Yeah.
going in this direction, and it's easy to track where it's lost. But we have this spider web system, and I mean, it could be, I'm sure it could be better, but it's the law of diminishing returns. You put in tons of money to gain 1% back.
Well, just to
Well,
install
the
these
meters
meters, we
themselves
save
have
5%.
reduced the
Yes.
Yes.
That's a help for sure.
Do you know how much the estimate's reduced from those meters?
Well, one of the things, I wouldn't be able to speak to the meters that we've changed so far, but one of the things that we've done through our meeting is, so we have different sets of dates that we work off of, what the date that the water plant calls a production date for, say, March 20, or February 2026, for the amount of water produced. The billing dates and those dates weren't lining up exactly. So when we were all in the same room with our heads together, we were able to put the billing dates, and we were able to match those dates closer together. And now we gained about 5% of our water loss. So it truly wasn't there. It was just a mathematical issue where our dates were not, water produced at this time was not the same water that we
Jeff.
were calling.
Jeff.
We're not lining it up with the same billed water, if that makes sense. So just that alone made our water loss dropped down about 5 or 6%. So we're at about, I think we're at about 44% on the last update. And I can get you guys an update on that, and you'd be able to see it.
Could you do that?
Yeah.
What's the national average?
I'm not sure. I think AWWA allows you to do, they have something, I think it's like 15% is what they allow for, which is a very, very,
It's in the.
that's an aggressive number.
It's in there.
And for instance, like if we do rate increases or whatever on our Public Service Commission, people who are subject to Public Service Commission, like some of the water districts, they only, if we do a rate increase, they only allow us to carry that certain amount. And then the rest goes back on the city, basically.
That'd be 15%, is that
I think
correct
it's
with the
15. I'd have
PSC,
to
the
go
Public
back.
Service Commission?
It-
Does that sound correct?
15% is correct.
That's out of that blue water
Yeah.
study.
When we put a case like Canonsburg in front of the PSC, when they look at our financial data, they will only let us account for 15%. So we do not get any expenses above the 15 to the 50. They back out or what we're allowed to charge.
Which is
And I
obviously
think
the
with
reason
that
it's
5%,
critical to
I
drive
think
that
what
down.
you all said that we had about 20 to replace, and we replaced maybe 13 of them, or?
Yes, I think he's got, he's done Kingsbrook. I think he's done King's Daughters, and he's waiting on the part for the jail.
Oh, okay.
Sammy, I'm sorry, or his crew.
All
I
right.
don't know who does it.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, and those are often, what's happened with those, we've coordinated based on when we receive the materials, but also coordinating with the business or whoever owns the meter themselves, so we don't go in and change their meter out at a really bad time.
No one interfere with it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, very good.
29% sound right for Kentucky as far as the average?
Yeah, that would sound reasonable, yeah. And also too, I will say this, I can't speak for other cities or entities, but our numbers are exactly what they are, like, we're taking the numbers, we're not trying to manipulate them to make them look any better than what they are. It's like warts and everything are out in the open, this is what it is. So, to me, it doesn't benefit us to have numbers that don't reflect what's actually going on.
We
So
understand why you would
I
do
don't know
that.
why someone would do that other than the PSC type thing. Not saying that I'm aware of people doing that, but, I just know that our numbers are legit, and I could.
Well, you're just lying to yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like stepping on the scale.
We're not really losing all this water.
50 pounds,
Yeah.
what it says, so.
All right. Let's see, just to report to you on our joint session with the county, I finally did make contact, and actually, I have a meeting tomorrow at noon with Judge Cheney and Mayor Day to work out an agenda and what we would talk about and try to get some dates from them to make it work. So at least we're on the way now to try to get them together.
What about the parking? Adjustments and enforcement?
Where are we going to
Chief?
get something from the chief? Parking.
Parking adjustments, enforcement?
We met with Corporation Council a couple times, trying to determine the best way to move forward. One of the items we've discussed is changing the enforcement hour, how we plan to do the enforcement as far as first couple of hours. Of course, it's, we've always said the first couple of hours for free. Then we're proposing, we'll put it in the ordinance, potentially with the maybe change in the progression of fine, depending on where you all want to set the fines at, for daily fines, and they reset every day, rather than a progression and to where it gets into an astronomical number, what we're dealing with right now.
We haven't had any enforcement up to now, have we?
We're back to enforcement since the holiday, yeah.
No, I mean, have we held people's feet to the fire in terms of paying their fines, or?
I don't have that data. I know that,
I mean, we've issued the tickets.
Yes.
But are we then enforcing it?
that process is beyond into the civil process, which,
Which goes through legal.
goes through legal. So I'm not sure if anybody has challenged or has contacted legal for any challenges or anything like that.
There's been no appeals.
So how can we change it from, let's say I'm down here and I want to get a haircut. So I pull up in front of the business and I'm there and there's a line and I've got a lot of hair, so they want to, it takes about an hour and 15 minutes. And then I moved from 17th Street or 16th Street to pull in front of the Cameo Arcade. And in that time, it's probably been a total of an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. And I want to go into Jim's and get a hot dog, and I go in there and eat. And sometimes I can be long-winded, and I'm talking to folks, and it's over an hour, and I come out and I get a ticket on my card. How do we change that from being 2 hours total all day, whether you're here at 8 in the morning or 4 o'clock in the afternoon? How do we change that to being 2 hours per slot or something like that? Because I don't think that's advantageous for us to continue on that path.
I'm not sure how we would do that per spot.
Problem you have with that, it's an obvious problem, is the employees. You know, they'll move their car, they'll park for 2 hours, move it away for a little bit, and then move it back for 2 more hours. It's the roosters that we're dealing with.
That's what
I
we're
mean,
trying
the
to
only
do.
you could deal with it
That's what we're
2
trying to
hours
do.
to 3 hours.
We were looking at going to 2 to 3, but I think Chief talking about it was what it
The
had.
thing is this first period of going out and enforcement, that period may change, move forward just a little bit, and then the couple times that he would make additional rounds. Plus, remember, he's got to go on foot in one whole 5 blocks on both sides. So really, he's got to walk 10 blocks handheld. So moving it to the 3-hour thing is completely, it just wouldn't work. You would have people parking there all day long by the time he gets to the second round. So,
I just think so.
I just think we're in a conundrum right now because there are a lot of folks that are coming downtown that are concerned about the 2-hour parking. You know, if we want to go to an antique store and then we want to get lunch with our family, well, you can't do that in 2 hours.
he makes a pass, and that tag has not been read in any of the previous passes for that day. That first 2 hours free. That's the way it's all been set up from the very beginning. 2 more hours after that, you may get the warning, but it's free. The thing is that you're there for another 2 hours, you're going to get the first enforcement action, which is the first fine.
You mean the first, after the first 2 hours you get a warning?
Yes.
Yes.
Even if it's 2 days in a row?
That's what we're contemplating on making the change based on the Rawls Creek. We're throwing that out there. There's no perfect way of doing this. I mean, it is the same issues we're dealing with today 50 years ago. And even with technology, to try to make it efficient and make it more behavioral changing for the driver, it's still going to be a challenge. And changing it from per day to cumulative to whenever. We've talked about that, doing it per day. But what to come up with as far as a fine or what it to do for the whole day. But at the same time, as the Commissioner said, are you inviting more roosting activities and providing places for people to park in front of their own business and taking up spaces for your patrons. So, you know, we're trying to be proactive with that thought process. Again, there's no perfect solution to this, but that's trying to move it a little bit and change it. That's what we have been discussing as far as changes in the current ordinance as we've created it now.
What's your all's thoughts about getting a very nice looking sign that says free parking and put it there at the parking garage?
Well, we need a banner to go on.
Whatever,
the
just
parking
something
garage.
that doesn't look tacky.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
Well, I mean, I don't know why you
Free
couldn't put one
all-day
on-
parking.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Couldn't you put one on each block, a small one on each block? Obviously, we don't want signs all downtown, but, you know, so people know. People come here from all over, and if they don't know, I mean,
A big banner on it too.
Yeah, I don't see anything
I think
that's
that's
been brought
needed.
up to put up free parking, you know, signs up there. That's just, city manager, I guess, can you make that happen?
You know, I don't think most people.
Most certainly will. I
No.
think,
They think it's
They
gonna
don't.
cost them.
You know?
especially people that
Come in
come in from out of town.
And maybe this is a good time to bring this up. This is not on the agenda, but I'm going to ask to be put on there, so you all can think
It's
about
a
it.
general meeting, you can
Yeah,
discuss it.
okay. In Ashland, we have very little level 2 and no level 3 EV charging stations. I would love to see some promoter or some developer or the mall or somewhere do level 3 EV charging. And here's why. You know, our residents have their own charging stations probably at home, you know, charge it during the night. But when we have visitors come here, they have nowhere to charge their cars. So if we're going to encourage people to come to Ashland, we need to provide somewhere these charging stations.
We can seek grants through COVA for
There-
that.
There's a new, it's under the Volkswagen suit that they had. There's money out there that can be used and gotten by governmental agencies or whatever for level 2 and level 3. Matter of fact, I sent a copy of it this morning to the mall. I mean, that would be a perfect, people come in there to shop,
They
they
ought to
can charge
put
their
it
car.
at their cost. I mean,
Oh,
they
yeah,
ought to
yeah,
do
yeah.
something.
But it was a reimbursement type of a grant. So they spend the money but get reimbursed. But if we can put that on for
I made a
next
note of that,
time,
sir.
it would be good. And also, for next time, I'd like for us to look at our event application process. I want to be able to encourage as many people to have events here in Ashland as possible. And sometimes I think it's a little more difficult than it should be to put on an event, but maybe we just look at that in the future.
If you all have a second, I could go back to water lines.
Okay, okay, sure.
Staff brought answers. The reason that there wasn't a budget, when I pulled the counting book, we did 2.9 million in fiscal year 25 of water line replacement. So we did like a summer thing where we did it like in fiscal year.
Where did the money come from if it wasn't budgeted?
The money was in a KIA grant, and we finished up these projects, is the timing of that.
Well, we still need to know how the money was, what lines were replaced.
I have them.
Good.
Hicks Road.
Just,
okay,
I mean,
okay.
just do a written, you know,
Okay.
the last whatever years.
And should we proceed with any of this, or do you want to wait till we talk about the budget?
I think it ought to be included in the budget time, but that's just my opinion.
Because the pieces will take a couple readings each to get them started.
what would the interest rate on that bond be today versus the interest rate of the bond in July? Do you see any fluctuation?
I think that the Fed Open Market Committee on the federal rate is, they held. So whatever the interest rate is on bonds, I would say that would hold too. Normally it's the inverse, so when the Fed raises the rates, the bonds rate will go down or vice versa. So since they've helped, I would say that the rates are steady.
They've kept it stable.
Yes.
My thought process on time was not a financial one. It was Mark losing 4 months of warm weather.
What are our current number of employees? We're talking about adding 3 employees. What's our current
4
level?
employees.
308.
308.
And that's reduced from,
329.
Yes.
you just happen to have that number, didn't you?
Just happen to have that number.
It's just with our staff, it is done at a third of the cost. Because we've had projects that we've bid, and we've rejected the bids, and we went back to our staff doing it. And when we captured all the cost, it was literally a third of the cost for us doing it.
I know it's been brought up in the past about, us continuing to look at, whether it be restructuring or continuing to look at cost-saving measures around the city.
Yes, still needs to be done.
Is that something that you all are prepared to talk about today, or should we do that another time if it's up to
What
you?
is it cost for?
So restructuring, looking at restructuring, if there's any areas it could be.
Additional.
And any cost-saving measures that we could potentially implement to save overall expenditures.
I can provide you all something, yes.
I mean, wouldn't that be logical to do again at the budget process?
Yeah, I certainly agree, yeah.
Well, we're down 21 employees since we took over.
Right.
Would you agree that somewhere around 80,000 an employee would be, including benefits?
Would be cheap, yes.
So we're down 1.6 million.
Yes.
I'm not sure we cut any more without losing some sort of service.
We're not, internally, we're not looking at anyone losing their job.
No, I can guarantee you
We
that.
talked about that.
I mean,
but-
I don't
but
guarantee it,
we
but I
are-
would not vote for it.
But we are looking at restructuring.
Well, along those lines, and one of the things that I
If
think
we-
we all had on the list to talk about was line of credit.
We are prepared to talk about any of these items on here. But if we're gonna get off the line of credit and stay off from it, and when you look at 2 to 3 years or 5 years down the road for capital needs, it's even more imperative. But there was decisions made over the, last several years that these other funds that we've created hasn't really worked out well for us, so. I think we've talked about this, but the general fund is supporting these other funds. If you look at the general fund, in terms of its fund balance, it looks good on paper. But the only problem is it has no liquidity. It has due from these other funds, and these other funds do not have money to pay the general fund. Hence the reason we're on the line of credit occasionally.
What's the current amount that's owed by the other funds to the general fund?
It varies by fund.
Why, do you have a ballpark number in terms of what's owed to the general fund?
That's something that I can
60,
get you.
yeah.
I don't.
It varies per day.
Yeah,
I mean,
why don't you give us some
Yeah.
kind of a general?
I think it's really key that we're a board that is very fiscally conservative and responsible, and I think that the decisions we make today and the decisions we make in the budget session not only affect us today or tomorrow, but they affect us 5 years from now.
No,
10 years from now.
when finance looks at this, we are looking out more than just 1 year. Although the government operating cycle, when your budget is 1 year, we always try to look out 3 years. And the department head submitted a capital listing that I had requested, a 3-year capital list. And I think some of these are valid requests. In fact, I think some of them are very important requests. So our goal in finance, with your all's approval, obviously, we will we will fix this. But it may require a little bit of restructuring and tweaking.
And the 1.6 million that you all have cut out, I can only say through the excellent teamwork and the hard work of everyone I work with, I think city services have got better. And when we look at these tweaks and changes, we do not want to provide less to our citizens.
I
We
think
think
it's
our
more effective, more
Yes.
efficient.
Yes.
No, if that's what you got, you thought I
No,
implied.
no. I just
that's
want to
not.
reassure you that's our thought process.
Here's my question, not to put you on the spot, but since you're on the spot, what is the financial, in your opinion, the financial condition of the city right now?
Are you talking about a particular fund?
No,
or
I'm
the
just
two?
overall.
I think we have some downward pressures. I think, I mean, we was just on the line of credit, was it 2 weeks ago on a
Yes.
Monday, it was 2.6 million.
It's $1 million today.
The other day it was 900, and she's telling me now it's $1 million today. I would anticipate it getting a little bit better since we had some rate modifications in the occupational license fee. That looked at netting us out about 1.7 million. So a lot of these fees are on a quarterly basis. I think I'd sent out an email on this. I think this was a question. But some of your larger revenues will come in the month after the end of the quarter, which is April. So as we go forward, I do see us getting a little bit better. But there is some structural cuts that I think are realignments that we need to make. But to answer your question directly on the general fund, I think it needs improvement. We need liquidity. And these other funds, or these other projects that we've taken on, unfortunately, hasn't worked out well for us. So therefore, I don't really see us getting, I mean, these, the garage, the downtown TIF and stuff, having the ability to pay the general fund back.
The downtown TIF
So
is,
we're going to be holding these debts, these receivables for the foreseeable future and paying on some of these things. They still cost us money. I would give, if you want to give it, the general fund a C. I think as time goes by through attrition, hopefully, it'll stabilize. I don't think it's nothing to panic about. I think the finance department is certainly capable of steering us forward. In terms of the other primary fund, that would be the utility fund. It does owe the general fund a fair amount. It is in better shape than it was. We went for quite some time needing a rate study. We had a rate study 5 or 6 years ago. For whatever reason, it was delayed, not the study itself, but to actually adopt these rates. In fact, it went so long, it went over 2 years, and the engineering firm that was doing the rate study, some of our numbers were stale dated, so this process went on 5 years. It went on too long. We should have implemented some of these rates adjustments, but we didn't. So now then, when we did get this study completed, the board chose to implement them over a 5-year period. So we had some lag time with the utility fund on this rate study. And now then we're implementing those rate changes over 5 years. So I'm optimistic for the utility fund in the near future.
What's caused the recent fluctuation in the use of the line of credit? Has there been anything in particular that's caused the higher
Sometimes
usage?
a lot of these grants and projects that we have going on, we have to fund the money up front and then request the payment. So a lot of times that can be part of it, and it's just when a payroll will hit. So
you have 3 payrolls, and our health insurance costs are trending upwards too.
Mhm.
every year.
Mhm.
but I think to
Along those
summarize,
lines, we might want to briefly interrupt and hit the insurance committee whether we're gonna reinstitute that or not.
My recommendation that we have a finance committee as opposed to a health insurance. So that way we could talk about
That could be
everything
part, yeah.
financial.
Yes.
And I'd also made a note, Mr. Martin, Commissioner Martin, that we also incorporate the capital project meeting in the same meeting. So that way we're
Didn't
not.
we talk about doing that on a quarterly basis at a regular
Yes,
city meeting?
but I would recommend it be structured under the finance, so that way we don't have to meet multiple times in a quarter. We can just do it all at one time, and if maybe 2 elected officials be on it, and then rotate it. And if there's any financial talk about capital or whatever, we can do it all at one time.
It's a good idea. I for one, appreciate the fact you're giving us a great monthly or weekly report,
Very good.
Tony.
Thank you.
We
I
really
appreciate
benefit
that. That's-
from that. And it's coming from all the departments.
It is.
It's a gathering.
This
of
is
that.
a team approach, for sure.
You're putting it together. But one of the things you're including in there, and we need to see this maybe in a little more depth, is the line of credit. We're seeing the weekly line of credit. It would be nice to know whether it's going up, whether it's going down, what's affecting it. We need to know a little bit more about
I can
how
certainly do
we're
that.
having to utilize the line of credit. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, sir. I'm making a note of it right now.
All right, let's get some of these, which I'm not really sure. What about the boat dock at the riverfront? I know that's all the time getting silt in there all the time, and
I believe Sean actually took care of that last week at the Parks Department.
Really, boat dock or-
well, I know they removed a bunch of, at both 47th Street and the Rap. Is that why it's on here?
I gotta apologize, I don't know why it's on the agenda. Having said that, twice a year we go in and we dredge it, once in the spring, once
Right.
in the fall. We're gonna be approaching that if boats aren't able to launch, emergency personnel. That's our first and foremost, is making sure they can get in and out of the water. We usually come in and it's close to $5,000. We have to rent a long crane
Wow.
to come out and help us out. It'll be, like I said, two sets in April, May, by early May, and then we clean it whenever it floods. However, having said that too, we get help from the fire department, help us do that, streets, utilities, because we're using all those dump trucks and all that. Here they got, sometimes I apologize, it may take us a couple days
I've
after
asked that
it goes back down or it recedes. And it's because I'm trying to get all those resources before we get cleaned up.
Okay.
Well, if
Hey,
that's,
Sean, I'm sorry.
well, I was just gonna say, if that's a continuing reoccurrence of $5,000 a time, if you do it 2 or 3 times a year, could we, what would it look like if we just purchased the piece of equipment and used it in maybe the water department or the utilities
Or move
department?
it. I mean, the problem is, and correct me if I'm
It's
wrong.
engineering
It's on the
problem.
wrong side of the jet that's out from where and it collects the silt. If it was on the other side,
It
the
would
old
block it.
one, we didn't have that problem. I'm like, so, I mean, it might be interesting to look at and see, just to move the whole thing. I mean, I don't know, something to look at anyway. I mean, if we can save money over 5 or 10 years, done. Maybe we can look at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
What's
All
this
right.
Garbage dumpsters thing.
Garbage dumpsters?
Is that a question whether we're gonna rent out dumpsters? Is that?
No, when we changed the garbage ordinance, we looked at expanding our revenue within the city of Ashland.
Increasing the number of rental.
Yes, and increasing, we have, like in apartment buildings, like 2-plexes, 4-plexes, we have people with like Rumpke or Hart or other garbage that are not using city garbage where our residents are required to. And a lot of the small businesses are using dumpsters outside the city. And we have dumpsters available to do that with.
Yeah, it's just additional revenue stream for us, for the city.
I mean, I think that, whatever we can do to look at additional revenue streams. I know that years ago, the Board Hill, the city used to pick up the Board Hill sanitation, and picked up the schools and picked up different things. Obviously, it's a business decision on why they've chosen to go somewhere else. I mean, are our rates competitive with other companies? And to that point, if they're not competitive, can we make them competitive while also continuing to make revenue off that?
You all reduced them 20%, so that is a long way going towards competitiveness.
But I mean, if we're requiring our residents to do it, why wouldn't we require our businesses to do it?
That was our thought process.
Yes.
Some businesses, obviously, we don't have the capability to handle.
That's what I was gonna say.
The ordinance was written that Mr. Murray could decide that if they did not have the capability, they didn't have to.
Part of the logic was we're competing with private enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are businesses that rent those out, and do we want to compete with them?
Yes, that's very important. That's the central question. I mean, it's,
Because when you walk downtown, even not even getting away from dumpsters, you see a lot of 85-gallon cans.
A block away from here.
Yeah, there's like 4 by the police station.
Yeah.
Well, with this new finance committee, maybe that's something they can explore and come back with a recommendation to the commission.
speaking of finance committee, can we pick 2 people now to serve, and we'll have a finance committee
Sure.
meeting here next month or so.
And you're gonna rotate them each?
Yeah,
Or how-
yeah, I mean, I think so, kind of like we done with the capital.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that.
So we can get a jump on it. Got any volunteers?
Oh, yeah, we'll all volunteer.
We'll all volunteer.
We have 2 volunteers right there, then we can
We're gonna
rotate.
rotate.
Is that
Renfro
Commissioner Renfro
and
good?
Coop.
Okay. Thank you.
Does
Thank you.
this include food?
I'll get you some donuts.
Is there lunch involved here?
Do you have a date in mind, Tom?
No, but I'm making these
You get
notes,
with
and
them.
then I'll send you on an email to recap some of this, and then try to give you a date.
Item M, steel arches over Winchester. Did we squash that?
Yeah, that was just a wild idea that we somehow got on here.
Well, he went back through every meeting and every note since the day you all took office, and that's how some of these got back on here. He wanted to make sure that they were taken care
Yeah, you can
of.
scratch that off. I mean, that was just a,
What's that?
Steel arches you can scratch off.
Okay.
Yeah, we had agendas and meetings about this big, I think he went through.
If we're at the point where we're not going to discuss anything further, can I make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss potential litigation?
sure. Do we have, let me see if anybody has anything else on here you'd like to discuss before we,
One quick one, wastewater treatment plant progress.
Update, I actually have been down there recently, was down there this morning, and honestly, I would advise at some point, if you guys would like to get together and just drive through there, it's been a massive change already.
Loved it.
That's what we were told at the groundbreaking, and then we needed to get back up.
Yeah, but currently, if you enter the facility like you always did before you would go through the gate, they're working on the dewatering building, which is right there to the left. Before you go through our gate, the existing gate, they have poured the footer, and then there's a knee wall that is at the bottom of the building. They poured 3 walls of that knee wall. It's about, I mean, the thing's like 18 inches thick or something. It's a big, heavy-duty concrete section that's probably a couple of feet tall. They're currently forming up I guess what would be the north wall, the riverside wall on that. They also are working on, they're currently working on all the structures down there now, whether it's to that degree, that's the farthest one, is the dewatering building. But all the others, they're getting ready to form up the blower building. And the locations for the admin building and the 3 clarifiers have all been excavated out. And they brought in, the admin building has the base put in, and they're bringing it up to grade to get to the point to pour the footer. And when I say they're bringing up to grade, I mean, they're like 8 foot from where they need to be. Massive amount of rock. And currently down there, they're working where the clarifiers are, and they're doing what's called ram aggregate piers. And basically, they drill down, they dig down to where they get good dirt, and then they drill down even farther, and then they just start ramming stone down in there to build a real strong base for these heavy structures. So they're doing that right now. Basically, that's the gist of what's going on right now. We've got a lot of the material, the old material that we're calling fluff, that was removed from the old Mansbach site. They've got it piled up, ready to be hauled off. We're just waiting for basically paperwork working out back and forth between the landfill and the contractor and the city. But that's kind of that's really what's going on at this time.
What happened to that tank of Dalton's?
It's still there. I've talked to them about it. I believe they were supposed to coordinate with the chief, the superintendent down there. And our contractor was going to set it on a truck for them.
Oh,
Take that
okay.
down there. Because they've got tons of equipment down there. They've agreed that, hey, if we need to help you out, do this. They've been great for those types of things. Pick it up, set it on the truck, and let them haul it off.
Okay.
On prior agendas, when we were making payments and stuff, I love the term grubbing.
Yeah.
Haven't heard that since my dad passed away. He used to tell me to get up and grab off that side of the hill.
They've grubbed it down to the dirt down there. So it's definitely, there's a significant difference down there. And I would, I don't know if you guys really wanted to get a bus and just dip through there one time, just for you guys to see it. But, just think about that whenever it works good for everyone. I think it would be interesting for you to see. There's one area they were working there today, and they're basically about 13 to 14 foot below grade, putting rock in.
Wow.
I mean, it's a massive operation.
So are you pleased with so far?
So far,
All
yeah.
right. How about you, Barry?
Yeah. And the contractor's pleased too.
All right.
Things are going well, so.
That's good news.
Good. All right, if no other discussion, we have a motion to go into second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. We're back in session. We're executive session and no action was taken there, so we have any other comments or?
I got a question, it might be a legal question for the fire chief. Is it Martin or? Louisa wants to borrow one of our fire trucks, and we have ones we can give them. Theirs got torn up in a fire last
Yeah, they
night.
had a major brush fire that involved 3 trucks yesterday. And during the course of fighting that fire, they received significant damage to 2 of their pieces of equipment. One of them, a tree, fell on the cab. The other one, they had to hastily retrieve an area, and I believe it went in the ditch as they were trying to evacuate the crews out of there. This is apparently a fast-moving fire. And they reached out this morning to us and I believe Cannonsburg Fire Department and seeing if they could borrow an older piece of equipment that we have for extended period of time until they get those repairs made.
We have one, right?
We've got 2 reserves, and one of them is the 93 model, that the oldest one, that's the one I was looking at letting them borrow, if it was okay. I didn't know what.
Is it something that the board need to vote on, or it was
Are you
within
good with
my?
it?
I would
Probably need to get
entertain a
some
motion to do that,
Yeah, I'll look into that, really.
yeah, with your assistance.
Yeah.
And who first?
I'll make the motion.
First, you're second it?
Second.
All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Yes, sir,
Thank you
Steve.
all.
If you can coordinate with the attorney.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, any other discussions or anything? I mean, there's some of the things we didn't get to, but,
We got most of it.
yeah, we'll keep an eye on it.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
So moved. No vote on